Hi, so today we're going to do an audit in the stonemason industry here in Brisbane. We've had a potential client ask us to do an audit of both their website and what's happening in the industry with the other websites that are ranking currently. So let's go ahead and see what we found. So this was as of the 4th of June 2019. So if you are looking at this a little bit further down the track, don't hesitate to reach out and ask for us to do a updated version for you, because what Google's looking for and also what's ranking does change quite a bit over time. Okay, so first up we're going to look at some of the on-site factors. So this is a program called SEMrush, and it's done an audit on the website, and what we're looking for here is any potential issues. So it's not looking at how optimized the site is just looking at, is there any issues holding the site back. So you can see there are a few things here. Pretty high numbers, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's big problems. So let's dive in and have a quick look. Okay, duplicate title tags. So sounds like there may be a issue there. Okay, so not a big issue there. That's something that just needs to be tidied up. Basically, just it looks like there is an issue with either these not canonicalizing themselves across to B1, because it looks like they're basically all the same thing, or there's just no title being set on some of these. So that's just a small issue that would be tidied up pretty quick, and that's going to be the exact same issue. Being with the same 7 pages. Content, is that the same? 2 lots of 7. Okay, yeah, so that's the same issue again. So just a couple of settings in the website would fix those couple up. Okay, and one page may have just had an issue, and one image is broken on the website, so that just needs to be tidied up. Okay, let's go back and look at the warnings, see if there's anything major there. Okay, so 274 unminified JavaScript. That again is just something small. Probably needs a speed optimization, and that would clear those all. 130 images don't have alt attributes. So this one is that's a little bit more important. So basically, an alt attribute is something that sits behind an image, and it's basically because Google can't actually see what's in an image. It looks for the alt attribute to tell it what's going on. So if you can just put a little, basically a very brief description, maybe use a keyword in those alt attributes, that does go a long way. 14 pages don't have meta descriptions, so this is again important. The meta descriptions tell Google what's going on a page, and it also, if I was to do a Google search, it's actually the meta description that is showing up here. So if you don't set one, Google will set one for you, and it won't necessarily be optimized, and you won't, you'll get less people clicking on your ads. Clicking on your listings. Low word count. So that's not ideal, but if they're not pages that you're, actively trying to promote something, it's really not the end of the world. hreflang tags. So that's just a coding issue, but very simple to fix. So that's something that would get tidied up. Okay, so don't have a H1 and have duplicate H1s. A H1 is basically the top heading that a page is about. So that's something that should definitely be tidied up. But again, it depends on what pages they're on. If they're on pages that aren't really trying to rank anything, then it's not a problem, but it looks like it's on the home page. So the home page should definitely have a H1, and it should be something along the lines of Stonemasons Brisbane, or Stonemason Brisbane, or something along those lines. You should have your main keyword that a page is trying to rank for as your H1. It is a very important signal to Google, and the fact that the home page doesn't have one, that's definitely holding you back. But again, that's a really easy fix. It's just a matter of putting a tiny little bit of code around a couple of words on the page, and you'll fix that up. Okay, warnings. Okay, so nothing else too big there. A couple of title tags that aren't really optimized. So going back, the title tag, so this is the meta description and this is the title tag. So getting that title tag really good does help with the click-through rate, and the higher the click-through rate, basically, the more people you get on your website. So again, fairly important, but not too big of a problem. Okay, so I'll just check the notices quickly. Okay, so nothing too bad there. So overall, it's your site is pretty good from an on-site perspective. Just a few little issues that can be fairly easily tidied up, and yeah, you'll get a big improvement in the in how Google reads your website. So that's something that yeah, is definitely worth fixing. Okay, so next I'm going to test the schema of your website. So this is a public and free tool that you can use. So just search schema testing tool, be the first one. Add your URL and run the test. Okay, so you have one lot of schema in here, so let's expand it out and have a quick look. Great to see that you just have the one. It's quite good. Okay, so you've got your address, opening hours, has map, could be a lot cleaner. Let me just test this. Okay, so this has map hasn't been done properly. So that should show should actually show your business and not just your address. That's no problem though. That's fairly easily fixed. Okay, so you've got a description in there. Okay, so for the most part, this is actually quite good. Nothing's broken, which is a great sign. There's just this could be improved, and yes, essentially you could just add a few more things to this section. Some good things to add might be add a couple of employees details, and the reason you would do that is the job titles will actually help to put in a couple of keywords into the code. But overall, this is pretty good. This is better than I normally see it. So so well done on the schema front. But let's just compare that to the competitors, and let's see how big of a factor that is in your industry. Okay. So I'm going to take the third listing here because we want to compare like for like, because there's no point comparing your site to a government site or a Yellow Pages site, because they rank in a different using different techniques. These are very beatable. It's no problem that they're there, but yeah, basically they use quite different techniques, and they use the power of the overall domain as opposed to actually being relevant to the industry. So when we do our comparison, we want to do like for like. So let's grab this URL. And just do a new test. Okay, so they got two here. Right, just some overall organization. Excuse me. It's not, that one's fine. Again, no errors, which is good. Okay. So they really don't have very much here. So interestingly, on the schema front, you're actually significantly better than them. So that's this is definitely not something that's holding you back. So we'll look a bit further and see what else we can find. Okay, so this is Ahrefs report on your domain. So it's looking at all of the websites that are linking to your website. Okay, so there's 41 domains that are currently have links to your website, and according to this, it's not always accurate, but you're looking at you're currently ranking for 164 different keywords, and when it says 164 keywords, that's basically in the top 100 listings. So even though you're appearing for that many, very few of those are actually necessarily bringing you traffic. But anyway, let's have a look at these backlinks and see if there's any quality there. Okay, so we've got a directory, directory again. That one looks really nice, although it may be some type of directory. Okay, yeah, so it is a type of directory, but it's actually really relevant to your industry, so that's not too bad of a link. Let's have a look. This one may be okay as well. Let me just see. Okay, nice. So that's that one's a pretty good link to your website. Quite a few of these are actually links, rather than being directly to your website. These are actually links to images. So this essentially means that someone has used an image from your website, and they've given you they've given you credit back to the image where they took it. So although those all show up as links, they're not really going to help at all with your rankings. So that actual 41 domains comes down quite a bit. Directory. This one looks interesting. Sorry, just look at these, a couple of these as I go. Okay, that one may not be live anymore. Okay, a lot more links to the images. Okay, so quite a few links to the images. Not a lot of power there, to be honest. So no, I haven't seen any major issues there in terms of something holding you back. There's just no kind of power there that will be really pushing you forward. So when I say that, we're looking at links that are links that send power. Usually you're looking for links on a website that have a little bit of content about the actual topic. And then within that content, we'll have a link back to your website. So not just having your listing on a directory where it's 1,000 pages deep on the directory and no one's ever going to see it. What you want is, if it's in an article, to be on a relevant website that has traffic and has traffic going actually to that article. Makes for a lot more powerful link than any of the ones we're seeing here. So although you have 41, one or two decent links is going to be a lot more powerful than the whole selection you have here. So let's have a look at the competitor that's currently we noticed was currently ranking above you, and they've actually only got 2 domains. So let's have a quick look. Okay, that looks like some type of directory. There's only two, so I'll have a look at both of them. This may be who actually built their website. Yeah. Okay. This one's taken quite a while to load. I'll just pause for a second. Oh, and the site's down. From what I can see, that looks like it may be a really powerful link when the site isn't down. Looks like they've got a hosting issue at the moment, so not to worry. But yeah, it looks like that may be a little bit more powerful, although that said, it's to a image as well because it says .jpeg there. So these guys don't have a lot of power either. So it's likely mostly on-site factors that they've done better than you for them to be ranking that little bit higher. So if you were to get your on-site fixed, get a few decent links to this website, I have no doubt that you would kind of fly through the rankings and move up quite a bit reasonably quickly as well. It does always take a little while for the rankings to adjust once you have made changes in SEO. There is 1 to 2 month lag effect, especially with link building. But yeah, basically you're not too far off the pace because the people at the front haven't specifically done a lot to be there, so they're quite beatable.